my shoulder, yes, that's right, they've brought out a T-Roc R. The guys at Esplanade on the Isle of Wight have actually invited me down to take this car out for the day. So huge thank you to Esplanade on the Isle of Wight. So it's a Golf R, but bigger. For the 30-year-old in you that needs the practicality of the kids in the bag, toys in the boot, but she can take a tow bar. It's still 300 brake horsepower. This is a super exciting car for the 30-year-old in me, because it means that you can not only have fun like you used to in your hot hatches, it actually has the space for everything you need because now you're 30. When you do grow up and you decide to put your kids in something a little bit safer, but you still want a bit of fun factor in there, I think this is probably one of the best things you can buy. The T-Roc, when it came out, was quite a cool looking crossover little SUV thing. This though, in the lapis blue as well. The fact that you can get this car in the Golf R blue is already a very big win. Okay, so I'm going to start with this part, which is the reason why you're going to buy this car. It actually has the Golf R engine, handheld X, four-wheel drive, everything, 300 horsepower, 400-ish Newton meters of torque, and a 0 to 60 of 4.9 seconds in a T-Roc crossover. The Golf R fans out there will actually see that this is a huge benefit for anybody that actually wants something bigger than a Golf R. The multi-purpose tool that everybody would ever want. To me, this car makes complete sense because of this engine in here. I am going to touch on this though. The tunability of this car, the platform has already been enhanced a lot through the Golf Rs. Just think how much you could get out of one of these. So although VW like to be subtle and sophisticated about their cars, you do get a sense there is some serious excitement. One thing being bigger bumpers, the gloss black bits, but she's got the R logo right there. Big 19-inch wheels on this one too. And I must admit, in person, and I really hope this shows on camera, the bigger bumpers and the lowered ride height of 20mm does suit the T-Roc very well. Now the rear end of the T-Roc is a good place. R badging, I like it. Quad exhaust. Quad exhaust! Gloss black diffuser. This is what I'm saying, it sort of fits in, but it's a little bit more exciting at the same time. You would know, if you know, you'd see the lapis blue, you'd see the R badge, you'd see the quad exhaust, but it still sort of fits in, sort of like a Golf R, which isn't Larry. Jumping in the T-Roc, it's a Golf, but bigger, and I know that does actually make sense. It is a bigger version of itself, which is the Golf. It means that it's incredibly easy to get in and out of. Look at this, right? So easy to get in and out of because now you're 30, your back hurts. So it's really easy to get in and out of. Fantastic. Your driving position is a lot higher, makes you feel a little bit safer in my opinion. But inside we have R badging on the steering wheel. The seats aren't too aggressive. For an R model, they're actually incredibly comfortable. Although they've got a bit of bolster so you do feel like you're in more of a seat hugging position in the car, they're not uncomfortable, which is what you want when you're 30 because your back hurts. Other things to talk about though, you still have the start button from the Golf R, USB, you have, in my opinion, one of the best things they could have put in this thing, which is off-road mode. You can go from snow mode, lovely bit of snow there on the center screen, normal road driving where you can do race, normal eco mode, you have off-road mode, and you have off-road individual, something the Golf R doesn't come with, but is integrated into the T-Roc. You have those modes, but you also have the original race mode that you would have got in your Golf R. The selections menu, if you go into sport, it still has the performance monitor that the Golf Rs came with, so you can go through and see your G, your bar on boost, and even a lap timer. A lap timer in a crossover with 300 horsepower. Winning! Can you just imagine your kids in the back and they wanted to see how many G's you can go around the corner on the way to school? I really think, sat here right now, if I'd have come from hot hatches and I wanted a little bit of a bigger car but still wanted it to be exciting, this is the car. As you can see from the rear, loads of space to party. You have good old armrest, can fit a fully grown adult. If we had one to hand, I'd get one, but I'm here instead. Nice glass sunroof, option obviously from the factory. It's just not uncomfortable in here. And the headroom, I'm not saying a Golf hasn't got headroom, but this has got headroom. Air vents at the back for those cold days. Isofix everywhere, and the same seat pattern of the center seat cloth with the Alcantara goes all the way into the rear of the cabin as well. You do have a cigarette lighter in the back as well to obviously charge your iPads, because you now have a family and you need to have that in the back of a car. Now this one's actually opted with tailgates that opens itself, and as you can see, the actual load capacity is large and you do have a lot of space under here. The spare wheel is an optional extra, we'll point that out, but a lot of depth in the actual boot. Practicality. But that's enough explaining how bad my back is now I've turned 30. Let's go and see how good this thing is. 300 horsepower in a T-Roc This should be good.
Although the layout of the interior is incredibly similar to the Golf R, there is little accents just to let you know you're in something a little bit higher up, but a little bit more sporty. It has a good armrest as well. We like an armrest on the channel. Now, we'll take it out of eco mode because in the reality of, if I was going to buy one of these, it would never be in eco mode, because the reality of you buying this car is because of that engine. So we're going to go from eco. There's lovely leaves and a wind farm on the screen in front of me. The flap and the exhaust open because we want the DSG farts, and we'll tip the DSG 7-speed gearbox into manual. Full manual mode with the paddles. So let's see how this thing goes. Very quick gearbox as usual, a little bit of burble from the rear end, and in my opinion, when you've dropped the kids off to school, you find a nice B road on the way home. Very stable, considering this car is a lot higher. Because of the adaptive suspension that these cars have, it means it is incredibly chuckable. It doesn't wallow around in the race mode. It's still very competent. Also, the brakes are from the Golf R as well, so you have these big 17-inch discs up front to stop you if needs be. The most impressive part about this car is that it can be that fun, agile hot hatch that you remember from your 20s. Flickability of the chassis, the stiffness of the ride when you want it to be, the position of the handling which you got in the Golf R, it's the fantastic handling. Covered in 4.9 seconds in this T-Roc R. Nothing to be sniffed at whatsoever. This is a crossover, a bigger car than the Golf, but it doesn't feel like it. You flip a couple of gears down, and it has that ability to make you enjoy a car you're driving that's for your family, and that's the real thing. You don't need to compromise. You can quite easily have everything like this. Did you calm down? Oh, we've got to pick the kids up from school, back into eco mode. The other parents at school won't think you're a boy racer, so you get away with that as well. Pricing, you're looking at £42,000 for the one I'm driving today. We can spec these up with an Akropovich exhaust system as well, which is, I think it's a £3,000 optional extra. Round town driving in eco mode, you're looking at 25 to 30 MPG, which is what I've been getting on this shoot. That's real world MPG. When you're on it and you're enjoying it and you're in race mode, you're in the low 20s. We have a 60 limit down a B road. We put it in race mode. We put it in manual. Drop it into second. Good car. Really good car. It ticks every single box. So guys, thank you so much for watching. A massive thank you again to the guys at Esplanade on the Isle of Wight for letting me take this glorious brand new T-Roc R out. This is one of the first production T-Roc Rs to actually see the UK roads. So thank you so much to the guys at Esplanade.